It was 36 total hours with Mr. Mime and his unblinking eyes.
Well, I'm going to talk about eco-terrorism.
Got too excited about jorts.
I am leaving now with my Roomba or your blood on my hands.
I'm back on my bullshit.
What is Mime if not air horn persevering?
No, this is not a family show.
And I quote, many American titties.
Why'd you have to bring Dane Cook to this, Andrew? No one wanted that.
Oh, you guys are not ready for what I've got today.
And I've apparently hit the very end of my attention span.
Give me like 30 seconds. I'm looking for rhymes. Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how Pokemon gym leaders are just like Fire Emblem characters. Now, bear with me. We just did the Fire Emblem flavor text at the time of this recording. Well, this will have been last week. And I realized that both Pokemon gym leaders and Fire Emblem characters are 100% incredibly interchangeable and can each be boiled down to just one primary characteristic about their personality that almost always has to do with their chosen weapon.
Yeah.
In Pokemon's case, like their type.
You gotta convey a character
Yeah.
to all the kids playing these games who don't read the text.
Yeah. It's like how every fire type trainer has red hair.
Yeah, has red hair and is emotional. Yeah.
Well, guys, 3 weeks ago, we celebrated, if you can believe it, our 100th DT episode. And by doing so, we tasked each other to bring not answers, but rather questions to the table. Among the questions proposed for the best debate this question were topics on licensed music and characters from Marvel's cartoonish 8311 universe. But one question stood out from the rest. Or should I say, bulged out from the
You
rest.
shouldn't say that. No.
I do not like that. I do not like it.
That's right, guys. You guessed it. Now, because I have not been able to get that image of Lieutenant Surge and his tidy whities that Todd so heedlessly posted in our show notes that day.
Really irresponsible of Todd.
Yeah, I really don't consider the consequences of my actions sometimes.
I want to actually pose the question that he proposed, which is, which Pokemon gym leader would offer the worst college internship?
I am excited to answer this question, but sad at the realities that we might have to deal with about college internship programs in 2022 while we record this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like a lot of our episodes in 2022, it's going to be coated with a wide array of cynicism.
Having had multiple unpaid college internships myself,
Yeah.
I look forward to venting out something deep within me today.
Well, a topic that is so near and dear to our collective hearts, I found that it was only reasonable to bring in a crack team of investigators who conducted hours upon hours of research to then compile that data together into a digestible presentation for you all today, for which I can take credit.
That's the American way.
That is the American way. Now, unfortunately, my department here at DT exclamation point HQ is actually over budget this year, so I can't afford to actually pay them. Instead, I'm just going to offer class credit, which should be fine. So, please welcome my academic fellowship composed of Matt, the rock type trainer who only shops at REI, Cole.
That tracks.
That feels targeted.
Todd, the psychic type trainer who just has telekinetic powers and no one talks about it, Thomas.
Yeah, it's like an anime.
And Kyle, the dragon type trainer who wears a cape and talks like they exclusively perform Shakespeare in the Park, Harper.
How did you know about my cape?
It's been wafting in the wind for hours, Kyle.
Every time Kyle walks in a room, he goes, huzzah!
It's got big tuxedo mask energy.
Big
Yeah.
tuxedo mask energy. I carry a dozen roses with me everywhere.
Is Tuxedo Mask our only reference for cape? Because I feel like every time capes come up on this podcast, we're like, yeah, like Tuxedo Mask.
Not our only reference, but best.
Yeah.
Because it's a character making fun of the cape wearer trope, I think, is why it keeps coming up.
It just fits so well.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, team, please go by one and introduce your findings to the panel in the form of an executive summary. I want you to tell everyone which Pokemon gym leader that you've chosen, which Pokemon game they appear in, what their leader type and their one-note personality trait / gimmick is. but most importantly, a brief description of what their internship offerings are. And also tell us if you took the internship or you're reporting on behalf of a third party who in fact took the internship.
Because we didn't read the question and answered it differently.
Andrew was at a cookout earlier and just got home and did not have time to answer questions from his friends. I should also note, this is important to know, this study is actually being funded by the Surge private military company. And so any negative mention of their founder and president, Lightning Lieutenant Surge, will result in immediate disqualification. Also, I like the idea that Lieutenant Surge runs like a private
Hawk.
military, yeah, like a private military contract,
A mercenary outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got some Blackwater.
Blackwater,
energy.
that's the name I was looking for.
At best, Lockheed Martin.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, we're gonna start with you.
Yeah, so I did this internship. I am the former intern. And so here's the thing about Brawley. I suppose that by classical definition, he is a gym leader. I suppose that he is also, by technical definition, an adult. But to call him either of those two things feels alarmingly misinformational. Brawley is the leader of the Dewford Gym in Dewford Town of Hoenn region. The board may recognize him from his appearance in Generation 3 of the Pokémon series, also known as the Gemstone ones. Now, please excuse my frankness, but Brawley is barely old enough to be in grad school, let alone be offering internships. And listen, all he does is surf. That's it. He just surfs. He talks about surfing. He takes his Pokemon surfing. I've seen him turn away trainers from the gym to go to the beach and surf. I was told that this internship was offering opportunities to learn from a gym leader who was a big wave in gym management and who taught through physical motion and encouraged a fluid work-life balance. Here at the end of my time in the Dewford Gym, which, may I remind you, is a fighting-style gym, I can confirm that all of that was a lie.
I would have guessed that he was water type.
I also would have guessed that he was a water type.
You would think.
Is it the flip-flops? Is it the blue hair? Is it the surfing attitude? What does it?
It was the surfing
Are they
attitude.
flip-flop, Matt? I think they're 5-finger shoes. I think
So it
they're-
really, okay, I'm not going to lie to you. It depends what art you look at.
Sure,
Some of the art
sure.
is toe shoes and some of the art is flip-flops.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got Vibrams.
Yeah.
His shirt is like one of those rash guards that surfers wear. So point to
Yeah.
water type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, may I remind you, this is a fighting style gym.
Yeah, I would have guessed maybe Rock, because he's got the like outdoorsman deal.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, every Rock type trainer shops at REI exclusively. Would not have guessed fighting. I know that his name is Brawley.
Yeah.
But I would not have guessed fighting. I mean,
It's an odd matchup to have the guy named Brawley be a surfer bro.
Yeah.
But Dewford Town is Dewford Town an island? Am I remembering that correctly?
everything's an island in Gen 3.
That's true.
It's all islands up all the way down.
It is an island, a tiny island in the blue sea. Okay. Yeah, so he lives on an island. So that tracks.
This picture from the anime, he looks like a real fucking chode.
He sure does.
I think the anime picture is the one that has the flip-flops.
It
Yeah.
might be stretched out too much.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's Brawley. He's the worst. He is absolutely the worst.
Okay. We're 1 for 1 on less than stellar gym leaders. Todd, what was your experience or experience that you're reporting on?
No, it was me. I did the internship. All right. Hi, large panel of professors. I've got some note cards here, so just let me get this just sorted here real quick. Hang on, okay. Hi. Hello.
Are you making the mic sounds on purpose, or is that part of the bit? I can't tell.
Don't make me shuffle my papers again. Hello, faculty panel. My name is Todd Thomas, and I am a political science and Pokemon husbandry double major here to give my summary of my semester immersion experience in Saffron City with Pokemon gym leader Sabrina, the master of psychic Pokemon. Sabrina is a gym leader. Sabrina is from first gen Pokemon games. Sabrina is also in Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Let's Go Pikachu. Sabrina is also a gym leader in Let's Go Eevee.
What is this bit?
She has also made appearances in other games. She is also featured in
He's got to
the
hit the
anime.
minimum word count.
Oh my god, this cadence.
Sabrina lives in Saffron City. Sabrina trains psychic type Pokemon. Sabrina only trains psychic Pokemon. She is also a psychic herself. To meet with her to discuss the initial terms of my internship, I had to navigate a series of teleporters to find her. 45 minutes later, I met with Sabrina as she appeared to float in midair with a green aura around the bracelets in her hands. It is here that Sabrina detailed that she offered many different pathways for study, but that she had, quote, stared into my mind's eye and could see that my soul was only capable of handling the intense training required to meet the learning outcomes for introductory studies in the psychic arts for a silent protagonist.
My favorite Harry Potter class.
In this report, I will share with the panel why my learning experience was not an ideal learning experience that future students should partake in. Thank you.
Wow. Really, really compelling stuff. I feel like I need to make a clarification. The vibe is college academia, not fifth grade science fair.
I have been through a traumatic experience with my internship with Sabrina, who is a psychic type gym leader.
I would suspect Todd is pulling from experience, and
I understand this is one area that he has more experience than the three of us combined. I get it.
has met a 22-year-old who has spoken like that more
Oh
than
my
once.
god. Yeah.
Todd is definitely working on some trauma, some repressed trauma right now.
Outside of the bit, yeah.
Oh, very good. All right, Kyle, what you got?
All right, so let me tell the panel that I was so excited, over the moon, when I was accepted to intern, not only for a gym leader in the Unova League, which is Pokemon Black and White, for those of you who don't know, but for one of the premier artists in the region, in the biggest, like, hippest city in the Pokemon universe. So I was so excited as the semester ended, and I boarded my Pidgey for the Big Berry itself, Castilia City. So imagine my surprise when I get there, and there isn't even a studio in this gym. No paint, no canvas, or anything. Just bugs. It was just bugs, guys. Bugs and everything's sticky. Everything's covered in honey. And that's how my internship for Berg, the gym leader in Castilia City, went. I thought I would be doing cool artist stuff, and instead it was just bugs.
Berg also looks like a huge chode.
I'm seeing Berg for the first time. Also weird that it's spelled like Pittsburgh.
It smelled like Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is... I didn't play Black and White. This is really something here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of love Berg. I generally love Gen 5. Gen 5 might be my favorite gen.
Gen 5 has shot to the top.
Yeah.
If it's not my favorite set of games, it's up there.
It's up there, yeah.
And Berg looks like a real fuckboy.
Wow.
Why is Berg's battle pose
Yeah.
on his knees? Is that in every
It's like
instance?
a rock star slide. That's
Yeah.
what he's doing right
doing
now.
it. He's an artist, Matt. He's expressing himself.
That's not. That doesn't mean anything, Kyle. That's just words.
His little animation is like he's wrapped up in a blanket. He's like throwing the blanket off.
You're telling me, Matt.
Oh, I love it. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. We've got surfing board shorts. We've got something with telekinesis 101, and we got bugs. I'm personally very interested to hear more about your findings, and I'll speak for the panel and say they are very interested as well. So let's go ahead and get into the meat of the study, which is, of course, to find which of these is truly the worst internship offered among these Pokemon gym leaders. So each of you, let's go back around one more time. Tell us more about the details of your chosen gym leader's internship, what you experienced, and what about that experience makes you want to throw up in your mouth, academically speaking. Matt, let's start with you.
Well, if I could direct the panel's attention to the image on the screen where you will see
Yeah, what's
an
the connection
image
here, Matt?
of the inside of Brawley's gym. I'd like to begin my discussion there. Now, I hear you all murmuring, and you're right. That is literally just a black screen, but you see, prestigious members of the panel, that screen is black because there are no lights in Duford Gym. None. There are no lights. Brawley has the audacity to claim that this is to test the bravery of the trainers seeking the knuckle badge. But I'm pretty sure that he just doesn't know how to pay the electric bill. Brawley has this weird thing for direct physical moves. So every day when I entered the gym, which I remind you is pitch black, he would just punch me in the chest. Just literally physically assault me in the dark. Do I have any evidence of this? No! Because there's no lights. There is no evidence because it's pitch black. The thing about Brawley is that he really defines himself by the 2015 Point Break remake. He walks around all day saying surf jargon like it's some deep insight on ways of battle. When we met for the first time, he said, "Words about your exploits arrived on tidal wings." He would always say things like, "I've churned through some rough waves of these parts, and I've grown tough in the pitch black cave. What are you made of?" And "A wave may draw back, but it always returns to shore." Or, "In battle, the only law that matters is gravity." When I tried to bring all this up to him, he just said, "Whoa, wow, you made a much bigger splash than I expected." Then he told me to find my mind in the gnar and try not to get pitted. I still don't know what this means.
Wow.
Did you say get pitted?
Get pitted.
Yeah.
Find
get
your
pitted.
mind in the gnar. That's
That sounds like Scientology speak.
yeah.
That's what surfers say.
Part of me was waiting for the phrase fresh pow, but you know,
Well, there's no pow when you're surfing. Todd, pow means powder.
I'm well aware.
That's skiing, Todd.
Oh yeah, that's the weird thing here.
That is the weird
All right.
thing here. You're wrong, and you should feel bad.
Follow-up question, Matt.
Yeah.
I'll speak on
Is it
behalf
about
of
my
the...
bad surfer dude accent? Because I don't really want to talk about that.
It's actually not. I didn't think it was that bad at all.
well,
I
thanks.
got a Johnny Tsunami vibe. So mission accomplished. So this was an internship, yes? What did you actually do aside from being punched in the gut in the dark?
Aside from Fight Club.
Yeah.
Hey, outside of the bit, I thought that was question 3, so that's all in my answer for question 3, Andrew.
That's fine. That's fine. The panel gestures awkwardly over to Todd, who is shuffling more papers and is very sweaty.
That's good SFX.
I don't think we.
right
I don't
there.
think we got the. We didn't get that. We didn't get it.
None of your Foley work took
It's
time.
fine. It's fine. Do not let Sabrina's stoic demeanor fool you. She is not an ice type gym trainer. As I previously shared, Sabrina trains psychic type Pokemon in her psychic themed gym. On day 1, when I arrived, I noticed that Sabrina had rearranged the teleportation pads from our earlier meeting. Each day, I was expected to use my budding, still to be developed psychic powers to navigate a precarious maze of questionable science. After searching the internet and speaking to the college campus nurse, I believe that there may be long-standing impact that repeated use of this technology has had on my body. Fortunately, I am still on my parents' health insurance. When I would inevitably choose the wrong teleporter, I was forced to fight a number of trainers in their nightmarish Pokemon. Each day, I would finally arrive to check in with Sabrina over my day's task. As I entered her office, she would often say things like, "I foresaw your arrival and anticipated your weakness," or "I can sense your power even in this frail state." Sabrina would not agree to a virtual meeting option for these check-ins. Throughout the term, I was often asked to spend time with her psychic Pokemon in exercises that she said would, quote, harden my budding psychic resolve. I spent the required 100 plus internship hours with the following Pokemon. 30 hours with Alakazam. 24 hours with Hypno. 10 hours with Wigglytuff. All remaining hours were spent with Mr. Mime. I was repeatedly denied a remote meeting option for these sessions as well.
Todd, can you show us on the doll where Mr. Mime touched you?
It's just everywhere. The capstone of my experience was a mandatory 2-hour session speaking with Sabrina in her office, but Sabrina only spoke through her apparently sentient lifelike doll. I was asked to psychically read what the feedback from her over my work that had been done over the course of the internship was, along with the exact % grade was to be for the work that I had completed. This scheduled 2-hour meeting took 4.5 hours, and at one point involved me sitting in the office alone with the doll while it answered my questions by commenting on how my soul lacks depth and that I would fail to meet the aspirations that my parents had for me when I was born. In the end, I would not suggest this internship for future students.
I'm dying. Oh God, that's very good.
It was 36 total hours with Mr. Mime and his unblinking eyes.
It's too many hours.
And his very human hands.
They're so human.
Do you guys know? Fuck. I don't know why, but like Mr. Mime lays eggs just popped into my brain, and I don't want it there. Okay, Kyle.
Oh my god.
All right.
Mime.
So
I feel weird, you guys.
Can this episode title please be called Mr. Mime Lays Eggs?
Yep.
So I would like to.
Oh, we're not okay. Boy, I'm gonna trim this laugh section down when I edit, and people are gonna be like, "They laughed for a long time." No, there was more. There was more. I promise.
Went on way longer than it should. Okay, Kyle.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I would like to be able to tell the panel that I assisted Berg, the artist, the renowned artist, in creating art. I would like to be able to tell the panel I did that. If you ask Berg, he would tell you that I did. In actuality, Andrew and the board, I spent the entirety of my internship cleaning out what can only be described as honey traps. Let me. I'll refer
like a drug
you to.
thing.
It doesn't
could be a sex thing.
I'll refer you to the image here for those of you listening at home and not able to see the image. Berg's gym has a series of doors that you must pass through to reach his chambers, but they're not doors, they're walls of honey that you have to press your body through to proceed.
What?
Ugh.
And it was my job to clean out these walls of honey at the end of each day. And when I expressed my concerns to Berg that I thought I would be helping with artistic things like, you know, preparing a studio, stretching out canvases, prepping palettes, he just said, "It's an art installation. Don't you understand it?" And then he left, just said that and left. So, yeah, I was sticky this whole internship. I had honey in places you don't want honey, and it was really unenjoyable. I am curious, though. He said he is prepping another art I did get to see the beginnings of his next art installation. He's closed down the gym for a while he's prepped it. One of them looked great. There's a very colorful light installation I saw being prepped, but the other one looked like a lot of spider webs, guys. And I don't think it bodes well for the next intern you send there, and I don't recommend it at all.
It feels bad.
It feels bad.
I cannot imagine being required to be sticky for academic purposes.
Oh,
That's something I left behind in high school gym and I never need to do again.
Yeah. So every time you gotta replace the honey every time, huh?
Yeah, every time. And I had to walk through 3 of these honey doors to ask him a question, to get my paychecks, not paychecks, it's unpaid, to have him sign the paperwork. Every day I had to go through these honey doors, and then I had to set them back up after they broke because it's honey, and
honey shouldn't be doors.
I didn't let me tell you, didn't learn much about art from this internship, except maybe honey is a bad medium to do art in.
So it sounds like you had a pretty traditional art student experience then, huh?
Probably.
Hey, so I don't mean to break the bit, but I didn't play these games. Can you, Kyle, explain to me mechanically what the hell is going on here while you're playing the Pokemon game? Do you have to just push forward really hard to go through the honey wall?
You have to battle. There's gates in front of these, so the puzzle is you have to find the right the buttons to unlock the gates, and then you just walk your character through.
Got it.
But yeah, the puzzle, it's a button finding puzzle.
Is there any lasting effect to the honeying?
No, it's just it's the animation, the honey stretches, and then you're on the other side of it, and it snaps back and wiggles.
They were trying to show off the DS animations.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the data each of you presented so far is, I wrote this before we came here, truly some great work. So on behalf of this panel of old white men paid too much to pontificate professionally, I thank you. Now, part of the draw of becoming a Pokemon trainer and eventually a gym leader is the chance to develop a lasting bond as their Pokemon partner. And as we know, those partnerships can be leveraged to exploit even better free labor. So tell me how the work that you did in your shitty internships could be migrated away from the hands of hardworking people and into the palms/hooves/tentacles of a Pokemon partner. Now, I have a note here, and I'm just going to say it out loud. This is not restricted to your gym leader's canon Pokemon team or whatever. Todd, you don't have to use Mr. Mime if you're too traumatized.
I didn't plan to.
All right, Matt, go ahead.
So to put a nail in this proverbial coffin, I would like to state for the record that I am offended that you called what I did in this internship work. I spent most of my time waxing Brawly's surfboard and cleaning the Pokemon's gym equipment.
Is that a euphemism, Matt?
It's not. It's not, and that almost makes it worse. So, I did say Pokemon's gym equipment. There was not a misplaced modifier in that sentence. I do mean the gym equipment that was used by the Pokemon, because all of Brawly's Pokemon are literally just men. They're just fucking weird-shaped dudes. They have arms and legs and alarmingly toned physiques, every single one of them. They have hands, and they can just grab a rag and do things that I am doing. I don't think Brawly even owns these Pokemon. I think they're just his buds with whom he surfs. He literally takes his Pokemon into the ocean and just stands in the waves, and he just kind of hangs out with them. However, esteemed members of the panel board, I will say the one thing that none of these Pokemon can do is navigate the bureaucratic nightmare that is the Dewford City Public Utilities Department. I, the only functional human person at Dewford Gym, I was able to negotiate a payment plan with the city that would have turned the lights on in the Dewford Gym by the end of the summer. When I told Brawly the good news, he called the utilities office and canceled service. Then he said I just don't vibe with his post-societal beliefs, and that while I may be radical, I should try to hang it a little more looser. And that's the end of my internship. Now I am here. Please give me class credit. Thank you.
Oh, excellent. Todd, do you think you can muster one more here? There we go.
Is that better Folly
boy.
work? I wish we
that's
had a
great.
video attached to this. Esteemed panel, in the end, my time spent with Sabrina left me with many questions unanswered, but ultimately and perhaps indirectly trained in the art of psychic warfare. So much so that after my first day spent with Sabrina and her living doll, I took time to catch 36 dawdlers and train them as fast as possible to power level them into an orbital army. Peering into the endless voids of Mr. Mime's eyes trapped me in a place beyond time, leaving me only to reflect on the history and future of mankind. The wars of our fathers were fought with bombs, our wars with technology, and the wars of our children will be fought not on battlefields, but in the minds of those who wish us harm. With training this bug psychic Pokemon orbital army, I have spent my sleepless nights creating weapons of destruction and necessary tools to use in the forthcoming psychic war. It is my belief that my trauma and college credit can be used as a model to train an orbital defense squad to be called to action when and not if Sabrina leads her psychic army to dismantle our society brick by brick. Thank you.
Everyone's just giving very nervous golf clap applause. I'm just kind of looking around like, you seen this shit?
There are visual aids that go with this.
Yeah.
Everything is a star wipe.
Yeah, right.
Everything is a star wipe.
All right, Kyle. How are you gonna figure out not wiping down these honey doors, honey gates?
Well, Andrew and the rest of the panel, let me tell you, I figured it out pretty early on in the internship. After the first week, I got on my first day off, I went out and caught myself a comb bee. This is a little honeycomb-shaped bee Pokemon that makes honey. And I thought, hey, if I bring this in, I won't have to get sticky myself and have my comb bee replace the honey walls for me. It was going great. You know, I was staying pretty dry, getting these walls replaced, and Berg came back from lunch, saw me using my comb bee to replace these walls, just shook his head and tutted at me and said, I don't think you understand art. Please do not use Pokemon to replace the honey walls. I need you to do it yourself. It is for my artistic integrity. And I still don't understand why he would not elaborate. Every time I asked, he said, you just need to look inward and understand the art better.
Yuck.
Hate that.
Hate that very much. All right. Well, first of all, thank you all. You seem to all have different yet equal levels of trauma about your respective experiences. So
sticky.
I felt it appropriate to maybe end this on kind of a higher note here. It feels like all of you are kind of still unpacking a little bit about your experiences. So we're going to take a quick break. There's a lot of old men here that have to pee. They've already started getting up. It's like seventh inning in a baseball game over back
Feels
here.
like a personal attack, actually.
So when everybody comes back, I'm going to have each of you go around and give me one thing that you would do to make your opponents or not opponents, fellow panelists.
Classmates? Is classmates the word you wanted?
That's it. your fellow classmates' internships better, and then yours seem way worse in comparison. And we will do so right after this quick break.
These movies are hot.
My name is T2756. Would you like to have sex with me now for money?
You know what? Honestly, cool.
These movies are bloody.
I was feeling a lot braver before I knew there was going to be murder and then threats of murder.
Oh yeah, I mean, you didn't think you could go to Texas Instruments without murdering someone, did you?
These movies are audio only. Worst Movies Ever Played is back with 3 new VHS movies for your ears. Anything can happen in this actual play RPG podcast, and we mean anything.
What did you build that went so poorly a while back?
Oh, I tried to build a girlfriend. Unfortunately, it also became a libertarian.
Those words of freedom do not beg for it, they simply take it.
Oh, this is a super bummer.
Subscribe to Worst Movies Ever Played, wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, we're back. Once more, our super secret bonus question is, I'm having each of you go around and give me one thing that you would do to make each of your fellow classmates' internships better and extensively make yours seem way worse by comparison. Let's start at the top with Matt.
Okay, so if I'm going to change one thing about Todd's internship to make it
Is it removing
better
Mr. Mime from the whole thing?
than mine, I mean, removing Mr. Mime would
Certainly wouldn't hurt.
probably help, but I think that I would have just given you the option to have those meetings remotely. I mean, if you had just committed to a Zoom call, I think a lot of what could be called transmutable disease would not have come to you so quickly. And if it were to change something about Kyle's, I mean, it's all about the uniform. All you need is like one of those hazmat suits, and then you can just take that off, and then you're not sticky. It's that easy. It makes mine so much worse because do you know what it's like to wear a hazmat suit on the beach, Kyle? It's not good. Sand will get in that hazmat suit. You're gonna chafe. And honestly, I wish that I could have met with Brawley remotely. He didn't need me to be there. I didn't do anything in this internship. Nothing. And at least Todd learned something.
All right, Todd. What's your answer? What's your rebuttal?
My semester spent embedded in deep reflection of psychic warfare has taught me that though power comes from within, often external influences can solve immediate problems directly. It is my belief that the other two internships can be solved by assigning the intern a specific Pokémon partner. First, I would assign Pangoro for the intern for Brawley, as it is a giant bear that is a dark type fighting Pokemon. I believe the shortcomings of Brawley's internship can be solved by a bear that fights in the dark. Also, Pangoro may be cool to hang out with.
Oh, shit. That was really
To solve Berg's internship shortcomings, an intern would need partnered with two specific Pokemon. Leavanny and Sudowoodo for Berg. Leavanny is a bug made out of leaves, which would help an intern deal with bug implant-related issues. And Sudowoodo is able to help with the honey issues because it is sticky.
I love the idea that, like, the bug is like, oh, you guys have a bug issue. Don't worry, guys, I got it. I'm also a bug.
I got it. Don't worry, I speak bug.
Yeah, I am bug, but also leaf. Kyle, you, man.
All right, so my fix for Matt is simple. Matt, you just got to lean into it, man. You got some really good firsthand experience of what working for a tech bro venture capitalist is like, and you are prepared now to go to the Silicon Valley and just take your pick of the work, man. You made that first connection. You're golden. Like you know what it's like. Just lean into it. You're not doing any real work at those jobs either, but you can cash those checks now. And Todd, I agree with Matt that, like, I think your simple answer is make it remote, but you don't even have to, like, set up Zoom or anything. You're working with a bunch of psychic types. They can just buzz your brain at any time of the day and from across town. And you're set up, man. Like, sell it as furthering their psychic link. And Matt, you were complaining about sand getting everywhere. At least people, like, civilizations have grown up on the beach. We've learned how to deal with sand. I can't tell you how bad it is to get honey everywhere, Matt. Just everywhere.
God. You know, I think it was Jesus who said only a foolish man builds his house on honey.
Yeah,
that is ripped right out of the Bible. Yep.
Yep. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Well, we're just about ended today's presentation. Let's hear one last closing statement from each of you, and then we will decide a winner. Starting with you, Matt.
Listen, Todd learned something, and there might be some long-term repercussions, but he did increase his psychic ability, and that's not nothing. I learned nothing, and if I'm going to choose between nothing and not nothing, I'll choose not nothing. Kyle's internship sounded pretty terrible, but I would rather be sticky than covered in sand. Really, I just want my college credit. This internship is the last thing I need to graduate. Please let me walk next month. Thank you and goodbye.
Matt, I think you are forgetting, too, that being sticky means you may potentially also be covered in sand.
Okay, well, you really threw a wrench into my plans there. I don't know what to tell you. You fucking got me.
Todd.
Esteemed panel, it is not night punching. It is not sticky doors. The wars of our children will be fought from the back of giant psychic bugs. Please fund my research for the necessary survival of all humankind. I have already secured a grant with Lockheed Martin.
Well, unfortunately, that's a competitor to Elizabeth Search's private military company.
Did I say Lockheed Martin? I meant not Lockheed Martin.
Schmackheed Martin. Kyle, your turn.
Yeah, I can't state enough how sticky all of my things are now. Just everything I brought on the internship
hit me, bro.
is sticky. I think I undersold how annoying it is to work for a flighty artist. Berg leaves town all the time. He's go find his passion or whatever. He doesn't answer questions with a straight face. And if I get told again, I don't think you understand art, I'm gonna throw a rock through a window. That is all.
All right. Well, everyone is starting to file out. In the midst of the chaos of everybody leaving and talking about where they're getting lunch, please go around and share some good vibes.
Yeah, there are no good vibes here today.
All
the vibes here today
All the
are
vibes
bad.
are bad. That's what we did.
Yep, that's what we did. We sure did. But, considering the mission was to make the baddest vibes, I believe that we are all there. We all did it. Todd, the bit was incredible.
Oh my
God.
That
the
was really
commitment
good.
to the bit. Excellent execution. Also, I didn't really have a strong memory or attachment to any of the gym leaders, so I didn't really have a great thing to pull from.
They're incredibly forgettable.
They are
Yes.
incredibly forgivable, but as soon as you brought up Sabrina and her dolls and her talk, specifically being alone in the room with her talking doll, it really clicked with me, and I really liked that. Kyle, I said it earlier, I will say it again. I cannot imagine needing to be sticky for an academic purpose or for a professional purpose. I never want to be required to be sticky. That is my own worst nightmare. What hell hath you wrought upon my mind?
Matt Cole, only sticky for fun.
Yeah. You probably should update your LinkedIn sometime. Definitely not interested in being sticky academically.
Here for a good time, not a sticky time.
Only sticky for leisure.
Yeah. I'm only sticky on my time, not yours.
This has been really great because this ties into having worked in academia for a decade now, and with offices that handle internships, this has really stirred something within me.
Yeah.
Matt, the idea of you creating or choosing an internship where there's nothing for you to do and they're not prepared to take you, they have no task for you, you're just there, and then when you try to solve things, in the end they decide, we don't want you to fix that anyway, is real.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
It's really, really speaking to me. And so I really liked that was the pull that you ended up with. I also, I liked how it oscillated from Fight Club to working with the Public Utility Office. that was a curveball I wasn't ready for, and I liked it a lot. Kyle, you had the other side of the coin of this internship is field experience with a capital F. You are in a field doing things. You are sticky. You are covered in burrs, and the whole thing is just actually a mess. And I don't know if there's a worse thing than being sticky when you did not consent to be sticky in the first place.
I worked at Starbucks for 3 years, and I can confirm being sticky is awful.
In my mind, so I mean, all four of us have at some point in time lived in some version of a fraternity house.
Yeah,
it's
true.
my idea that you've walked out into the kitchen the night after a party and like you step in something sticky and you're wearing not barefoot, you're in socks.
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
maybe worse.
You step in something sticky, and then you lift your foot up to see what the sticky thing is, and you put your hand on the counter, and the counter is also sticky.
But like, and also particularly honey. Because like anybody that's just in like, oh, I'm gonna put some honey on my English muffin or something, and it just like a little bit gets off of the target area, and just like, this is the next 25 minutes of my life is cleaning up honey.
Yeah. So you brought a special nightmare to this internship, and I thought that was really worth noting here today.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, you did. You captured very well what I think working for a startup where the idea is just startup would be like. We'll focus on the product when the time comes, but right now our main goal is startup. I think you really captured that. So good job. And then Todd, you're using your experience to craft the best bit of the day, I think. Was very good, and again, I could feel you working through some stuff. I feel as though you channeled a real person that you have encountered with your answers today.
Having taught a variety of college level courses, yes.
So I'll segue. So thank you again, all three of you. Each of you brought compelling stories, harrowing journeys, and very funny bits to today's episode, and I thank you. We can only publish one of these, so this was we've been talking outside in the hallways. I will say up front, two of you came here with a significant advantage. The third is Matt.
I'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah, Matt, I really, really liked your answer. I really, really liked your answer.
Thank you.
A man that just punches you in the dark. Ultimately, the panel felt as though, while your argument was probably the most compelling, you definitely didn't have an internship. The panel has concluded that you actually just had a job for the city. You had the experience that working for a small town is in the summer, having a summer job for a small town where you're just riding around on a golf cart. Riding around on a golf cart, avoiding the public utilities. Yeah. So unfortunately, we're not going to be publishing yours. Todd and Kyle, you guys came in with a significant advantage for dramatically different reasons. Kyle, obviously, with the Pokemon knowledge. Todd with just the life experience of specifically collegiate academic findings and presentations. And we're going to publish your experience with Sabrina. And here's why.
She'll come for us if we don't. I got to tell you that.
One, the panel felt like we need to. As a way to benefit the human race, we probably need to. We need to give him one. Also, the idea that you came in, the idea of being completely broken down to your core elements by Sabrina's, let's say, psychic warfare, particular brand of psychic warfare, is just it's really good. And obviously you stuck to the bit, and it was great. Kyle, I do want to give a shout out to you as well. Your experience was probably the most traditional internship experience the panel felt, and more importantly, pales in comparison to most art students, I feel. What is an art fellowship without doing weird labor under an enigmatic artiste?
Yes.
You know? Yeah. So we're gonna publish Todd and his experience with Sabrina. So congratulations to Todd.
I must warn you, the war is coming. We have no time to rest on our laurels. We must act now.
I love. Then that's you doing the bit, but like you're being ushered out, and they're like, "It's coming! It's coming!" All right, everybody. Well, thanks for listening in to Debate This. You can follow us along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Debate This Cast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. Speaking of our website, back 3 weeks ago, we asked you listening at home to vote on our super secret bonus question from the previous episode 100, where each of us cast and then subsequently detailed out our versions of Debate This, the movie. If you haven't listened to that yet, it was a fun bit. In addition to introducing this question and some other things, we ended the episode with doing Debate This, the movie, and because all four of us were answering the question, we did not determine a winner. So as a bit, we said, yeah, go to the website and vote. Well, I'm happy to announce that the winner is me. I am the winner.
Funny how that worked out.
Yeah, wild.
It's so weird that I was hosting and then got to announce that I was the winner. So I won that, which was fun. With 4 votes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
But hey, are you a new listener out there and you have no idea what the heck we're talking about when we say things like, I don't know, talking tungsten? Or maybe you're like me and have such a problem focusing on one thing at a time, you couldn't possibly expect yourself to regularly follow the same podcast for more than just a few months. Well, either way, have I got great news for you. Debate This is now on YouTube. That's right. As of this recording, you can find our entire backlog of episodes up through the end of last year, 2021, up there for your listening pleasure. Just search for Debate This Cast, and our channel should pop up. We are still a very baby channel, so you got to search for it. But hey, if you're using YouTube and you find us, please go and give us one of those subscribes.
Just ring that bell.
Just ring that bell, baby.
Hit that like button.
It.
Smash that like
that
button.
notification button.
Do all the YouTube things.
Verb that thing.
Verb that
Verb
noun.
that noun.
Verb that noun. Until next time, I'm Andrew Henderson.
I'm Matt. Totally gnarly. Cole.
I'm Todd. The only 3 mammals that lay eggs are platypus, echidna, and Mr. Mime, Thomas.
And I'm Kyle. Let me get that with my human hands, Harper.
And we're saying thanks for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.